When I was reckless in my youth, I toyed with the feelings of a boy from the Miao ethnic region. On the day we broke up, Damien's eerily beautiful face wore a sinister smile. His cool fingertips brushed against my neck, his tone strange and his voice low and cold. Being unfaithful in love will send you to hell. Next time, I'll kill you with my own hands. I didn't take him seriously and lazily pressed my lips against the boy beside me. Retribution came swiftly. I fell ill with a strange disease that even top doctors couldn't cure. Just when I was about to give up, I accidentally saw a post online. Miao Village Shaman, those who see him have all their illnesses cured. To save my life, I had no choice but to return to the familiar Miao lands. Fortunately, I soon found that mysterious shaman. But why did he have me take off my clothes for an exam? When something foreign was slowly pushed inside me, I finally realized something was wrong. In a panic, I struggled and knocked off the shaman's face veil, revealing a familiar face beneath. Damien's face was deathly pale, his sinister voice like a demon from hell. I regret it. Claire, bear me a child. It's said that women of the Miao Village are charming and graceful. My friend wouldn't listen to warnings and insisted on going to the Miao Village in western Hunan. After several days with no news, he finally posted an intimate photo on social media the day before yesterday. Those who had warned him now regretted not going together. Having a child is truly a blessing. I can't believe he ended up with such a beautiful girlfriend. If I had known, I would have gone to the Miao Village with him. Looking at the photo on my phone, Ben's eyes turned red with jealousy as he asked. Claire, you're the only one of us who's been to the Miao Village. Are all the women there really as stunning as legends say? I toyed with the hand of the boy beside me and casually replied. Not only the women are beautiful, the men are breathtaking too. My mind drifted to that gorgeous, dazzling boy who never got angry no matter what I did, obediently taking whatever I dished out. His overly pale face always forced a stiff, flattering smile to please me. He was a perfect lover if only his possessiveness and control issues weren't so extreme. Thinking that, I touched the boy's too slim waist again. Soft and flimsy, not as satisfying to hold as his. I instantly lost interest and ordered the boy to massage my shoulders. Several friends chatted on endlessly, even joking about wanting a lover like that before they die. I smiled quietly as I watched them talk, neither joining in nor interrupting. Why are there suddenly so many bugs? Someone nearby complained, squashing a black insect with paper. So disgusting. Someone took a sip of wine and crunched on something. Damn, what the hell was that? No one knew who turned on the bright lights, but suddenly the dim private room was filled with light, revealing countless tiny crawling bugs everywhere on the tables, sofas, TV, ceiling, even in the fruit plate and unopened bottles. The person who bit something strange finally realized what it was and bolted to the wall, vomiting. Not just him, everyone's face turned pale and they lost all composure, rushing out the door. Soon, the once lively private room fell utterly silent. I leaned against the sofa, looking at the boy who, though pale-faced, showed no panic. Curiously, I asked, "Aren't you scared?" He bit his lip but looked determined. No. The smile on my lips grew wider as I casually took off my watch and tossed it to him like trash. An $80,000 watch for you. The boy bent slightly, his thin lips nearly touching mine, when suddenly a violent force yanked him away and slammed him against the wall. From the once bug-infested corner emerged a figure I hadn't noticed before. Damien stood tilting his head, wearing hand-embroidered traditional clothes, silver bells tied to his ankles, and long hair braided elaborately with silver and bells jingling down to his waist. His eerily beautiful face showed no expression, his skin pale, lips blood red, and dark green eyes locked onto me, silent. He slowly stepped forward. I could smell the faint bitterness of herbs on him, bitter and astringent but not overwhelming. His scent was strange, intensifying only when his emotions flared. In the many days and nights with him, only at night did that scent explode amid the tinkling of silver bells and the mountain rains of Wushan. Inside and out, I was filled with his smell. His cold fingertips traced my wrist, Damien's voice emotionless and slow for clarity. You carry another scent. I don't like it. People say the Miao are skilled with poisonous magic, but I think Damien's face itself is the deadliest spell. But looks don't put food on the table. I flipped his hand and pressed it against my cheek, my tone gentle but resolute. I'm tired of you. Leave. We'll never see each other again. Damien stared at me for a long time, seemingly confused and as if trying to decipher my words. After a while, his stiff lips curved faintly in a weak, appeasing smile. I won't say anything else. Please don't be angry. Before, no matter how furious I was, seeing his face would always calm me naturally. Now, I only felt disgust. I shrugged off his hand and helped the boy to his feet. I'm in love with someone else, do you understand? I'll say sweet things, kiss, even be intimate with that person. The smile on Damien's lips froze as his eyes shifted to the boy's face. He pressed his brows lightly. You like beautiful ones. He's not pretty. You like me. I'm beautiful. Before he could finish, I lost patience. Pinching the boy's chin, I kissed him sharply and snapped. Why would I like some hillbilly with no worldliness who can't even use a smartphone? Saying I love you was a lie. Stop causing trouble. Let's part amicably, okay? A cold killing intent flashed across Damien's expressionless face. A small snake coiled around his wrist flicked its tongue, restless. I lowered my gaze to meet the snake's. The slimy, icy discomfort of it crawling inside me felt like yesterday. I reached out my hand. The snake coiled in my palm as before, licking my finger pads, curling its tail, desperately trying to help its master win back his lover. I smiled faintly and tightened my grip slowly. The snake sensed something wrong but didn't struggle. The next second, it shot out and slammed against the wall. Damien's face went even paler. I scoffed and, ignoring everyone, pushed the boy onto the sofa, slowly peeling off his clothes. I don't remember you liking to watch others make love. No sooner had I spoken than a cold breeze swept past me, followed by cool fingertips brushing my neck, mimicking a killing motion. Damien's sinister smile returned, his tone twisted and cold. Being unfaithful to your lover sends you to hell. Next time, I'll kill you with my own hands. Then Damien left. The bugs in the room disappeared too, as if the whole scene was a hallucination. I grabbed an unopened bottle of wine from the table to rinse my mouth, then wiped the spot the boy had kissed with a wet wipe. Leave. The boy quietly dressed. Just as he pulled the door open, he said, I'm not dirty. You're the first. I was momentarily stunned, then smiled. I know. I'm just a bit of a neat freak. Half a year ago, my childhood friend Tom had writer's block and went to the Miao Village in western Hunan for inspiration. Out of boredom, I went along. Just like many stories say, I fell for a beautiful Miao boy, using every trick and sweet word to finally win him over. But I quickly grew tired and wanted to break up, afraid I'd regret it later, so I forced myself to throw myself back into the relationship wholeheartedly. I tried hard for that love, but gradually, I grew weary of the face I once adored, tired of his ghostly clinginess and afraid of his power. From what I knew, even the oldest village elder treated him with deep respect. He never acted without confidence. I began to regret everything, avoiding him, and even left the village without saying goodbye. What shocked me most was that Damien actually came down the mountain. Wasn't it said that villagers can't leave easily? Before I could make sense of it, a sharp pain stabbed my wrist, drowsiness took over, and I soon fell into darkness. In my dream, Damien smiled chillingly. Claire, you won't be able to live without me. The dream felt so real that after waking, it took me a long time to calm down. Afraid he had implanted some unknown curse inside me, I went to the most famous local master, burned all his belongings, and finally felt reborn, free of the sinister presence behind me. To celebrate my new life, I plunged into every crazy daredevil game I could find. When I opened my eyes again, I was surrounded by white walls and the sharp smell of disinfectant. Seeing the silent doctor, my heart sank. As the old saying goes, what goes around comes around. To cure the sudden strange illness, I spent a year traveling to over 100 cities, asking many miracle doctors who all just shook their heads and told me to eat whatever I liked. Screw those miracle doctors. I remembered that master again, and after drinking a bowl of his lime-mixed talisman water, I smashed his shop. What a damn fool of a master. At night, the agony returned with bugs gnawing at my insides. I numbly got out of bed, grabbed some ghost peppers from the fridge, shoved them into my mouth, and when I started choking, washed it down with mustard water. After vomiting blood, I smiled contentedly. The bug bites hurt less, replaced by a burning in my stomach. I wiped my mouth messily, swallowed 2 painkillers with cold water, pulled back the covers, and fell asleep. At 3 a.m., I was rushed to the ER. Tom anxiously said,
I'm worried you'll kill yourself before the disease does.
I closed my tired eyes, drifting off. I don't know how long later, Tom exclaimed.
I found a cure for your illness.
I snapped awake as he pushed his phone in front of me, showing me the post, clearly an anonymous post with no IP trace. Just one short line.
Miao Village Shaman, those who see him have all their illnesses cured.
My eyelids twitched, a bad feeling rising in my heart. Miao Village. A name I had deliberately buried deep in my memory was pulled back to the surface. Damien. On the day I was discharged, I squatted by the street, disheveled and smoking. Through the reflection on a nearby car window, I saw my current self, pale skin, sunken cheeks, hollow eyes like a stagnant pool. I looked like someone who could beg with a basin in hand. As I was thinking this, a tattered old man suddenly stopped in front of me. His cloudy eyes stared at me for a while. He rummaged through an iron bowl filled with $100 bills, picked out a $5 bill, and tossed it in front of me, mumbling, "You're young and able-bodied, why waste it competing for work with an old man like me?" After saying that, the old man briskly walked off to his next job, ignoring my calls. I wiped my face, picked up the bill, and put it in my pocket. After finishing a cigarette, instead of calming my restless mood, it only burned hotter. Even an evil-looking fluffy dog riding by didn't escape my kick. Soon, before the bill had even warmed in my pocket, I respectfully handed it over with both hands to a half-blind fortune teller at the street corner.
Master, please guide me.
A few minutes ago, I had scorned the self-proclaimed master who ran a scam on the streets until I saw 3 accidents happen in a row. The facts in front of me forced me to believe. One person on a bike crashed into an old man who clutched his chest but refused to pay $80,000, another with some money on an electric bike lost control and crashed into street plants right after starting it, the last, extremely cautious, chose to walk, only to trip his own feet and jam his head into the escalator railing. I swallowed nervously, glanced at the master stroking his beard mysteriously, and suddenly my disdain turned into respect. "Master, how did you know misfortune would come to them?" The master answered cryptically. "Heaven's secrets must not be revealed." I called 911, emergency medical services, and the fire department respectively. Then tears welled up uncontrollably, and choking with emotion, I said, "Master, I've been foolish." Thanks to the master's hint, I understood I was being punished. I was confused. "Master, I've lived honestly, followed rules, treated people kindly, been open-minded and sincere. Why am I being punished?" The master just smiled at me, a smile that gave me goosebumps. "Are you truly without guilt?" For some reason, I thought again of Damien, the one I had deceived in body and heart. But isn't love supposed to be mutual, consenting, and parted on good terms? "I don't think I did anything wrong," the master said pityingly. "Since you show no remorse, go. No one can save you." I laughed bitterly, ready to smash his stall, but his next words froze me in place and made me forget everything. "Far away but close at hand. The answer is already in your heart, isn't it?" The master casually pointed southeast. My face went pale immediately. That was the direction to the Miao Village in western Hunan. 2 years later, I stepped once more into that familiar and dangerous Miao region. Following online recommendations, I found a well-traveled, knowledgeable tour group with countless positive reviews. I heard they consistently topped the ratings. I felt much more at ease. But once on the bus, I realized those self-proclaimed worldly experts were just college students. Though nowadays college students look mature enough to pass for their 20s. I sighed, truly, the worst poison is in people's hearts. After sighing, I opened the platform and, just before the signal disappeared, typed out a 100-word glowing review and hit send. Surely, I'm not the only one who got scammed. The tour guide was a native Miao woman named Maya, in her early 20s, wearing delicate makeup that made her look like a demon from a ghost story. The college students blushed just looking at her, the bolder ones sketched her in their notebooks. Someone curiously asked,
Sister, is it true that Miao people really practice goo magic like the books say?
Maya laughed like it was a joke, covering her mouth. This is a society ruled by science and law. How can people still believe in that? Goo magic was banned centuries ago. No one in the village uses goo anymore, otherwise, how could outsiders enter so easily? I rubbed my fingertip, feeling something wasn't quite right but couldn't put my finger on it. If no one uses goo magic, then how to explain the jars of goo bugs in Damien's room? Lost in thought, the bus had already stopped at the village entrance. Even having lived here for a while, seeing the village nestled within surrounding mountains gave me chills, making my hair stand on end and stopping me in my tracks.
Don't like the village?
Maya appeared behind me, her voice soft and melodic. Come in and see, you'll like it. They like you very much. Who are?
They.
I frowned. The next second, she gently pushed my back. Though the force was light, I staggered forward uncontrollably several steps, fully entering the village. At the same time, a warm current flowed into my tired body, quickly spreading to my limbs like being wrapped in sunshine, warm and comforting. Soon, men and women dressed in traditional clothes greeted us. Each looked stunning and took our luggage warmly. Their strides were broad, speaking in an obscure dialect as they looked back at us occasionally, giggling quietly. I barely caught a few words but didn't understand their meaning. Being snake goo, only that one can control it. Yeah, so cruel to loved ones. Poor little bug. The Miao Village is now a tourist spot, with people online singing its praises. But in reality, many fear the mysterious Miao people described in books, so tourists come in small numbers yearly. There's only one guest house for outsiders, but it has few rooms since visitors are few. By bad luck, the rooms were all just given out when it was my turn. Maya and I exchanged looks. Maya blinked slowly, her phoenix-like eyes lifting slightly. One room short. In that case, you'll have to stay at my place. Such a familiar scene. I recalled a horror movie where a girl named Callie lost everything by wandering alone. To be safe, I declined and planned to sleep on the floor downstairs for a few nights. A little girl standing in the corner suddenly spoke, with accented Mandarin.
There are snakes and bugs here at night. They'll bite.
I looked away and replied casually. It's okay, I'm not afraid of snakes and bugs.
Snakes are poisonous. Cure no good.
No cure? I masked my thoughts and joked. Isn't there a rumor about the Miao Village shaman? That those who see him get cured of all illnesses? If I do get bitten, I'll trouble you to take me to him to cure the poison. Obviously, I looked stubborn and unwilling to listen. The girl's dark green eyes fixed on me. The shaman doesn't see outsiders. I frowned slightly, then relaxed. Then what should I do? I have no place to stay. Maya, can I stay at your house? Compared to the obviously suspicious Maya, I preferred to trust the child. If something really happened, my chance was at least a bit better. Most importantly, she seemed to know a lot about the mysterious shaman. The little girl's name was Lily. No matter how much I asked, she wouldn't say more, not even her age. I pulled a fruit candy from my pocket and smiled. What a coincidence, my name's also Lily. You might not believe it, but you look a lot like me when I was little. I was shocked when I first saw her, no other reason but the resemblance. If it weren't for the difference in eye color, I'd almost think it was my childhood self showing up. Lily took the candy but didn't unwrap it, curiously staring at the colorful wrapper. Had this candy. I carefully dodged a centipede on the ground, not bothering much. I just assumed some tourists had given her the candy because she looked cute. We passed other buildings and soon arrived at a richly decorated stilted house. For some reason, I felt this house was familiar, as if I'd seen it somewhere, but when I looked again, it was utterly strange. I figured it must be nerves playing tricks and missed the turquoise little snake with slit pupils coiled on a branch, watching the spot where I had stopped. That night, I changed into the clothes Lily had prepared for me. I curled my toes and whispered, "Do I have to wear this too?" Lily knelt half down, clasping my ankle, fastening silver bells onto it. Those bells were special, seeming almost alive as they wrapped tightly around my ankle, nearly sinking into my skin. Yet, strangely, they didn't feel restrictive or uncomfortable. Lily said, "This is a blessing." There was no signal in the village. To contact the college students, I'd have to walk to the guest house, braving countless poisonous bugs along the way. Just thinking about it made me grit my teeth. I shelved the idea of finding them until I left in a week. With that thought, I turned my attention back to Lily. Though young, Lily was very independent. The only odd thing was that in all this time, I hadn't seen her parents. Lily noticed my gaze, looked down at the scorpion in her arms, and asked, "Want to touch?" I snapped back to reality and smiled to decline. After hesitating, I asked a question that had puzzled me for days. "You've lived here so long, but I've never met your parents. Did they go work somewhere else?" I didn't know whether to think her parents were careless or irresponsible, leaving such a small child alone at home, unafraid of danger. My thoughts drifted far away, even imagining if I had a child like her. I'd never want to leave her side. Lily's expression was calm. "Ava is home, Eli is watching Ava." I didn't understand. "Ava what?" Lily lowered her head and stopped talking to me. Not wanting to embarrass myself further, I went out to inquire about the shaman. My luck was good, I soon reached the bustling market. The villagers were warm and hospitable, constantly stuffing strange little trinkets into my arms. I felt awkward accepting, but they refused payment. Reluctantly, I left the small ornaments on my body behind. At the same time, I sighed in relief. Luckily, I always carry jewelry with me, so I wasn't just taking advantage of others. But when did this habit start? I racked my brain but couldn't remember. In any case, it wasn't important, and I quickly forgot about it. After asking around a lot, I learned there would be a bonfire party that night, and everyone in the village would attend. At dinner, before I could ask about the bonfire party, Lily volunteered that she would take me out to have fun that evening. Seeing my hesitation, Lily asked, "Are you afraid of Damien?" Caught off guard by hearing that name again, my smile briefly froze but soon returned to normal. "Yes." "Do you know him?" Lily's small hands quickly twisted the many tiny braids in her hair. "At night when you sleep, you'll call his name." I was stunned. Call his name? I backed away again, afraid. After all, he said next time we met, he'd kill me. Lily reassured me. "Don't be afraid. He won't hurt you. He'll save you." He? The shaman? My fingers nervously twisted my shirt hem. My heart wavered as I weighed the pros and cons, unable to decide. What if I really run into Damien? A tempting voice inside me whispered, "Isn't your purpose here to find the shaman to cure your illness? If you find him, everyone's happy. If not, what's so scary about dying at Damien's hands? You're already sick and won't live long anyway. Might as well embrace an early release from suffering." I pinched my palm, steeling myself to take the risk. Damien was so easy to fool. If I met him, a few sweet words might make him forgive me. After all, I hadn't done anything excessive. I followed Lily to the bonfire party. For the first time, I realized how many people lived in the village. They sat in large circles around the fire. The oldest elder sat closest, murmuring prayers in a dialect I couldn't understand. "They're praying for blessings." Maya suddenly appeared behind me. Though her sudden appearance surprised me at first, I'd gotten used to it by now. Worried about Lily's safety, I followed her with my eyes and casually asked,
Praying for what?
for the shaman to bless his lover's early return to his side. I hummed in response. Then may the shaman's lover return to him soon. If so, the shaman should be pleased and might grant me my small request. Maya smiled knowingly. Do you really mean that? I answered decisively.
Of course!
Maya extended her hand, and a centipede crawled out from her sleeve. She patted its head and spoke a meow phrase. Soon, the centipede crawled off and disappeared. I've already grown used to seeing meow people carry pets anywhere. Even if someone brought an elephant as a pet, I doubt I'd be surprised. Around the outer circle, I saw the college students. They wore meow costumes to blend in and took part in the prayers. Honestly, the meow attire fit them better than their regular clothes. It was like they were born to wear them. To put it bluntly, they looked like natives of the village. Startled by my own thought, I shook my head hard, trying to dismiss the absurd idea. Natives? I'd seen their student IDs. They were definitely college students. But what school? I couldn't remember. Lately, my memory had been getting worse. Sometimes I'd forget things that happened just 2 days ago. Fearing I might forget important things, I began jotting down daily events in my phone's notes app. Lily seemed highly respected here. Everyone bowed politely when they saw her. Even the village chief, the oldest man, showed her deference. No wonder her parents felt safe leaving her alone in the village. That put me at ease, no longer worried for Lily's safety. I stepped back a few paces and quietly slipped out of the crowd, planning to continue inquiring about the shaman. I asked more than a dozen villagers, but very few spoke standard Mandarin. Even those who did mixed it heavily with dialect, making it nearly impossible to understand. Disheartened and ready to give up, I caught sight of a man sitting in a wooden wheelchair out of the corner of my eye. He was thin, skin stretched tight over bones, like a withered bamboo stalk, seeming to have endured untold suffering. I looked twice. He looked increasingly familiar. Maybe my gaze was too intense because a meow woman nearby also turned to look at me. She smiled beautifully and walked over.
Hello!
My eyes lit up with joy. You speak Mandarin? She smiled shyly. My husband is Han Chinese. He taught me. I licked my lips and eagerly asked my purpose for coming.
Do you know where the shaman lives? I need his help.
The woman looked at me in surprise.
Don't you already know him?
I was confused and full of question marks. Why do these villagers always speak in riddles? The woman winked at me with a suggestive smile. You carry his Sende strong one. Then she started saying strange things. Will you bear a child for him? Your child will surely be beautiful. The more she said, the angrier I got. My face darkened. What are you talking about? I don't understand. I left her words hanging and turned sharply to walk away. Out of my sight, the woman whispered in the man's ear like a lover. Ava, feel how soft my heart is? I only gave you the bone-eating goo. If it were that other person, they wouldn't go easy on you. So don't think of running away. Stay with me. You're the one who provoked me first. Okay, now start posting on social media. Your friends will start to suspect. Are you really going to take me to see the shaman? Didn't Lily say the shaman doesn't see outsiders? I looked at Maya warily. Just now, Maya had offered to take me to meet the shaman. She smiled seductively and lightly touched my neck. You're not an outsider. Besides, he wants to meet you. I was speechless. Is the shaman really that casual? Just staying in the village a few days makes you no longer an outsider, giving you access to him? But for me, that was good news. If I stayed any longer, I probably wouldn't survive the pain here. To keep things mysterious, Maya blindfolded me when taking me to see the shaman. I don't know how long we walked, but someone helped me upstairs as the bitter, familiar scent of herbs filled my nose. I opened my mouth, about to ask if I could take off the blindfold, when a pill dropped into my mouth and dissolved quickly with my saliva. A hoarse, strange male voice said, "Don't spit it out. It's medicine." I felt relieved inside. I'd made the right choice. This must be the so-called Miao Village shaman. I obediently stood aside and spoke casually to him. Has your lover come back to you?
Returned.
That's wonderful. Right after, the shaman let out a short, sharp laugh. Before I could ask why, a cold hand started moving on my body. My face changed, and I stopped him from removing my clothes, snapping, "What are you doing?" He said, "Little healing. You don't have to undress for that. Are the people in this village all so casual?" The shaman lost patience. I felt something cold and wriggling wrap around my limbs, forcing me to lie spread eagle, while smooth, round objects were inserted inside me one by one. Terror welled up inside me. I struggled violently, breathing fast and uneven. "I don't want treatment. Let me go. I said no treatment. Don't you understand? Get lost." Overwhelmed with emotion and in darkness, I stumbled backward, but instead of hitting the hard floor, I landed in a cool embrace. I struggled harder, wildly flailing my hands, grabbing at something and yanking down hard. At the same time, the blindfold was yanked off by the shaman, revealing the veil I'd tightly gripped. Beneath the veil was a familiar face. I almost screamed, my face draining of color, blood seeming to flow backward, my body shaking uncontrollably. Damien's gaze locked onto my tear-stained face. "You're afraid." His voice was almost gentle, a stark contrast to his eerie, icy eyes. After a long moment, I found my voice again, trembling.
Damien, are you going to kill me?
He answered quickly. "No." My heart skipped a beat, a dreadful premonition rising. Damien's face was deathly pale, and in a sinister tone like a demon from hell he said, "I regret it. Claire, bear me a child." Since that day, Damien locked me up. To my surprise, Lily was the one who came to deliver my meals daily. I desperately wanted to leave and forgot to wonder why Lily appeared here. Nearly pleading, I begged her to help me escape, promising many rewards once I was free. Lily remained unmoved, calmly saying, "Eli won't let you leave." I nearly broke down, tears streaming uncontrollably. My insides churned, making me nauseous. Having not eaten for days, I only vomited sour liquid. Damien came out of the room as if not seeing Lily, effortlessly lifting me into his arms. His fingers probed down, as if checking that what was inside me was intact. He awkwardly wiped my tears with a kiss. "Don't cry." Lily tilted her head and asked, "Why is Ava crying, having a brother?" Damien tugged the corner of his mouth, his jade-like face looked eerie. "Ava doesn't like Eli, doesn't like Lily, wants to run away." What was still unclear now? Why was a girl resembling me in the village? Why did she share those eerie green eyes like Damien? Why did the villagers treat Lily with such respect? "Ava is home. Eli is watching Ava." Lily's words echoed like a spell endlessly in my ears. The calm and rationality I fought to maintain finally shattered. My tears flowed harder, and my sobs were filled with helplessness and despair. At night, Damien wiped the sweat-soaked skin on my back, which was covered in dark purple hickeys. I smelled the strong bitter herbal scent and opened my eyes in a daze. "When did I give birth to Lily?" Damien explained. "Unlike outside, the child goo only needs to stay full term inside the mother goo before it's born. On the day you gave birth, you were too exhausted and fainted. I erased the scars, so you wouldn't show any signs of having given birth." Suddenly, I remembered that frantic night. Usually, Damien was obedient, but that night, no matter how much I told him to stop, it was as if he didn't hear me. I felt no joy for this child, only disgust. "You only see me as a tool for bearing children." My voice was so soft it seemed to float away with the wind. Damien kissed the corner of my mouth and corrected me. "Not a tool, a wife." Damien stopped having Lily deliver my meals because just a few days ago, I almost pushed her down the stairs. Damien wasn't angry about it but rather puzzled. "You don't like the child, so why did you say you wanted one in the first place?" That was just sweet talk I used to trick him and make him happy, not from my true feelings. But now, words were useless. Countless days and nights passed as the urge to run away stirred again in me. Before I could act, Damien sensed it. I turned my head toward the little snake coiled by the bed that was Damien's spy watching me. To keep me company, Damien sent Maya to talk with me. Maya was puzzled.
Why do you always want to leave? The girls here all like the shaman. He's handsome, powerful, and can protect you. Isn't that every woman's dream partner? What else could you want?
I closed my eyes wearily, unwilling to say another word.
They say girls outside love freedom, and I guess your mom was right. I went to college outside too, and I don't see much difference from the village. Why do you want to leave so badly?
I don't understand you, Claire. I slowly opened my eyes and showed her the frightening purple bruises on my body under her gaze. This is not love. Love isn't this terrifying. Maya didn't understand. She blinked her phoenix-like eyes and looked at me, full of confusion. Maya, if your mother wanted to marry you off to someone you didn't love, what would you do? Run away or endure and obey? Without hesitation, Maya said. I'd refuse. And if refusing was useless? Then I'd leave the village far away. Her voice abruptly stopped. I smiled faintly. Right, you would run away. With Maya's help, I couldn't believe how smoothly the escape went. Every 5 years the village holds a ritual to bless the people's safety, and as the village shaman, Damien must attend. Maya took advantage of his absence, hurried over, and untied the restraints binding me. I was ruthless, intent on crushing the little snakes that kept stirring inside me, but Maya quickly stopped me, serious. These snakes carry the shaman's consciousness. Haven't you noticed how different he is from the others in the village? I froze. The villagers may be strange, but they are obviously human with flesh and blood. Damien seemed born without feelings, like a ghost mimicking human behavior. Stop thinking, let's go. Maya grabbed a robe and draped it over me, then hurried downstairs. Knowing the village well, she chose a winding, twisted path. Mountains surrounded us, thick green trees forming a dark canopy that blurred day and night. Silence reigned, the wind whooshed past my ears. Unseen branches cruelly scratched my skin, the burning pain on my face kept me alert, nerves taut. My heart pounded as my steps quickened, my tattered clothes fluttered behind me. I didn't know how far I ran, my chest and stomach were stretched to the limit, as if about to burst. I heard Maya's calm voice. Don't ever set foot in the village again. Suddenly, I felt a hand on my back. Unlike when we arrived, Maya pushed hard as if focusing all her strength into that one shove. I snapped around. Maya! She laughed lightly and ran the other way, her fiery figure bold and unrestrained. No time for sentiment, I ran toward the only light shining ahead. Dawn broke, shattering the darkness. 352. My smile froze when I saw the person not far ahead. Damien stood motionless, his lifeless green eyes curling strangely as a cold, chilling laugh escaped him. Claire, got you! Having a child is truly a blessing. Can't believe he ended up with such a beautiful girlfriend. If I'd known, I would have gone to the village with him. I jolted awake, staring blankly at the scene before me. Ben's eyes were red, but a strange smile twisted his lips, as if controlled by someone. Claire, you're the only one of us who's been to the Miao Village. Are all the women really goddesses there? I heard myself say. Not just the women are beautiful, the men are breathtaking too. The end. Damien afterward. Claire is a liar. She said she loved me, but her eyes showed only false tenderness. Sure enough, she ran away. I wanted to take her back to the city, but she refused. Claire likes everyone, she's heartless. I never do anything without confidence. I knew that day would come, so I planted the Een snake goo in her. Een snake goo has been banned for over 100 years. In the entire Miao Village, I'm the only one who can plant it. Many women ask me for help to plant it on men who betray them. I refused. It's more terrifying than the bone-eating goo. Made from several poisons, it crawls inside like a snake, gnaws uncontrollably, invades the nerves, causes headaches, hallucinations, and intense nighttime pain. I want her to suffer. This is punishment, Claire. I watched her day and night as she tortured herself into the hospital. Claire, I can use smartphones. I posted online.
Miao Village Shaman, those who see him get cured of all illnesses.
Knowing Claire wouldn't easily believe, I set a con man on the street to tell her my words. She finally believed. She entered the village, completely exposed to my sight. I even knew how many grains of rice she ate daily. Her memory worsens. I know it's because of the Een snake goo. She doesn't like Lily and often secretly reads books Lily collected, though she can't understand the text. Claire figured out those college students are villagers. I got Claire back once again. If bowing leads to more demands, then I'll raise my head and use any means necessary. If you don't like Lily, it's fine. Have another child you do like. She ran away. I almost laughed out loud. Claire, got you. She wanted to kill herself. I was puzzled but skillfully hypnotized her. Sent her back to the city. Starting over again. Being unfaithful to your lover will send you to hell. Next time, I'll kill you myself. I regret it. Claire, bear me a child. Claire, got you.